Your calm exterior, Julia, the great advantage of that, I imagine, is that you can have great fun shocking people.
Well, they're usually more private moments than public. There was a lovely time when Carol Burnett brings out the best and the worst in me, I think. And she's a very good friend of mine. And we were doing a gala for President Johnson's inaugural in Washington. And we'd been rehearsing, and we were up in our room, and we were waiting for Mike Nichols to arrive. And it was quite late, and we were kind of in our robes and wondering if he was ever going to show. And finally he called, and he said, "I'm coming down right away. Order me some coffee, I'll be right there." So we decided to go to the elevator to greet him, and waiting for the elevator, the lift, to come down, we said, "What? Let's do something silly. Let's do something funny." And I don't know, honestly, which one of us thought of it, but we said, "Let's be kissing as he gets out of the elevator." So I flung Carol down in a deep embrace, and the elevator went ping, and the doors opened, and it was filled with Secret Service men. And Carol dropped to her knees and disappeared behind the couch, and the elevator eventually went ping again, and we thought, well, it's got to be him. And so we flung ourselves into this idiot embrace, and the doors opened, and Lady Bird Johnson got out. And it was a terrible feeling. Anyway, she went down the corridor and stopped, and then you could see she was thinking, I sort of know those people. So she came back and she said to Carol, "Excuse me, but aren't you Carol Burnett?" And Carol said, "Yes, and this is my friend Mary Poppins." She said. And eventually, to our mortification, the elevator finally pinged, and it was Mike Nichols, and he just got out of the elevator and said, "Oh, hi, girls," and walked on down.
While you were still in a wild embrace. Yes. Probably the word went round at the hotel, there's two women being ridiculous, go and have a look.
Yeah.
Now, you've worked with your husband, Blake Edwards, recently on a movie. I mean, more than once you've worked with him, of course, but now you seem to have involved the entire family and friends, and even filmed at your own home.
Yes.
Just to save money, or what?
The film that's coming out here, I believe, in April. What did you say?
To save money.
Oh, of course. Not exactly, but it was actually more to make a very small, very private film, and it was about a family not unlike ours. And since it was a family not unlike ours, and our two older daughters are studying and are in the business, as they say, we decided to use them as members of the family. Jack Lemmon plays my husband, and he asked his son to be our son, so to speak. So we have his son and my two daughters, and we play a married couple.
This leads to an interesting thought, that you were in bed in your own home with your own bed and another man.
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting it was, actually. Especially with Blake looking on and saying, "Could you do that a little better, please?"
Who was he talking to?
I guess for both of us.
Yes. Is it difficult being directed by your husband in love scenes?
Well, in circumstances like that, it can be. It's perhaps people would think it was easier, and it's perhaps a little harder, because if you don't do it well for your husband and you have to sort of face him at the end of the day after the work, it's somehow more difficult. You want very much to do it right for him and have him be very pleased with you and proud of you and so on.
Because your home, officially, I think, is Switzerland. What are the great advantages of living there?
Oh, well, apart from the obvious great beauty and great peace and quiet and things like that. There's a wonderful story about that. I was getting ready for appearing in Vegas once, actually, and I decided I ought to get in shape. And Switzerland is, wonderfully peaceful and empty and quiet, and so I would run around the farm and the barn and things that are quite near us, and I would sometimes jog, and I would sometimes sing, and I would really let it all go. And I was doing The Sound of Music one day, and a whole group of Japanese tourists came up over the hill, and they looked so stunned, because I assumed they thought I did that every day of the week. Yes.
Tom's sex appeal is his living, of course, and Leslie and I have our memories. And I wonder if it delights you or embarrasses you terribly to know that you are, in the eyes of many men, the ultimate fantasy.
You're kidding, really?
No.
I can vouch for that.
Thank you.
I fell in love with you in The Sound of Music, and I've been in love with you ever since. I think you were absolutely... Well, I said it backstage just now, and I'll say it again. Your performance in that was one of the finest performances ever in a film at any time. You rocketed out of that screen, and everybody just loved you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, with those fine and noble words, we all agree with. Thank you for your company, Julie Andrews, and Tom Jones, and Leslie Crowther. And thank you for your company. See you next week. Good night.